If you have an extra $5,000 sitting in the bank, in this video, I'm going to show you what you can do with this strategy to potentially turn the $5,000 into $50,000 or $500,000 or more. And if you don't have $5,000, I recently published a video where I went over what you should do if you have $1,000, and I'll link that for you down in the description. And when I say extra $5,000, I'm referring to money that you have outside of your emergency savings fund, so you want to have some cash put aside to protect you against an emergency. This is not that money. And you also want this $5,000 to be separate from any additional credit card or high interest debts that you have. So if you have credit card debt, this is not extra money. You got to pay down the high interest credit card debt first, because the high interest credit card debt is charging you 15, 20, 25% a year and is skinning you alive financially. So the first thing you got to do is pay down that credit card debt and build some emergency savings. Once you have that, now let's talk about how do you actually grow this $5,000. I'm a big believer in this saying, the first you have to learn and then the L becomes silent. And that's what we're gonna be talking about, how you can do that with your $5,000 today. And there's two ways that I'm gonna cover that in this video. Number one is how you can take that money and actively work to grow that money. This is gonna be a little bit more risk, but more potential return. This is how you're gonna see the big paydays of taking the $5,000, turn it into something like $50,000, $500,000 or more. It's by taking the money and actively working to grow it, versus taking the money and passively working to grow it into the markets by investing your money into other passive assets. Let me start here and then we'll go here. The whole idea behind actively growing your $5,000 is you take the extra money you have in the bank and you want to put it into your own idea to go out and generate some more money. And there are generally three types of businesses that you can create if we look at the highest level. That is a content-based business, those are service-based businesses, and product-based businesses. And let me go through a few examples of each, that way you understand some ideas of maybe something that might work for you. A content-based business is one that revolves around you creating some sort of content. I'm gonna focus in on digital content just because that's so popular nowadays. And this could be going out and creating a YouTube channel, starting a podcast, starting a newsletter, free or paid online. It could be starting a blog. It could be selling a course on cooking, selling a course on how to create videos, creating a course on anything that you can imagine, or potentially offering coaching as well. And again, there's a whole array of coaching. We can do business coaching, marketing coaching, life coaching, fitness coaching, whatever it might be. But the whole idea here is you're creating some sort of content online that you can monetize by either advertisements that are shown on your content or by selling a piece of this content to your consumers. A service-based business involves you selling your time, your skills, or your labor. And the more skills or more niche your skills, the more dollars that you can charge for a service. So a few examples of this might be an accounting service if you have an accounting background. Maybe you can be a virtual assistant. Find a busy CEO who doesn't have time, you have the time, and in exchange, you can manage their emails, you can manage their phone calls, you can manage their desk, do whatever you need to do to help them manage their time better. And you can do a lot of this virtually. You could do video work, you could do photography work, you could do editing work, you're editing photos, you're editing videos, doing graphic design work, you could do copywriting. Every business who has an online presence needs a copywriter. That could be writing text for sales pages, writing text for emails, writing text for blog posts. It could be writing ad copy. Copywriting is very broad, and if you can help businesses sell stuff online, you can make a lot of money as a copywriter. It could be helping businesses marketing, maybe Instagram marketing, TikTok marketing, YouTube marketing. Maybe it's running paid advertisements. Maybe it's doing search engine optimization, SEO. Maybe it's running paid advertisements on Google. You can help businesses with AI. You can become an AI consultant. Every single business wants to use AI, but most people have no idea how AI even works. So if you understand ChatGPT, if you understand some of the AIs out there, and you can show businesses how they can save time or money by utilizing AI, they'll be willing to pay you a fraction of how much their savings are. Or you can sell some of your labor. If you're strong, you could be a mover. If you like cleaning things, you could be a car detailer. You could become a cleaner for rental properties, because rental properties turn over. And every property management company in the country has a lot of properties that they need to turn over quickly and they don't want to pay a ton of money for. And if you can specialize in that sort of cleaning, well, then you can come in and help those properties turn over quickly, and they'll pay you to do that. A product-based business is something where you sell a physical product, like food. Maybe you have a very delicious carrot cake recipe. Well, that's a product-based business opportunity. Maybe you have apparel. You're really good at designing clothes. You have some new socks that you want to sell. Maybe you have an eye for technology. You're very good at coding. You can build a software technology. You like wellness. It could be skincare products. It could be protein powders, whatever that might be. These are the types of things that you see on Shark Tank. These are primarily those product-based businesses. But now, this is just where you start. This is kind of the ideation phase of different types of businesses that you can start, and I have done all three of these kinds. I have done content-based businesses. For example, I'm here on YouTube right now, but YouTube isn't my business. The business that I run is called Briefs Media. That's where most of my time is run because I started a company and I'm the CEO of Briefs Media, where we publish digital content. We publish digital financial newsletters like Market Briefs, which you've probably heard me talk about if you've watched any of my videos. Market Briefs is a free financial newsletter where every day my team breaks down what's happening in things like the economy, stocks, housing, crypto, and global economy into a fun reading, easy to read newsletter. If you haven't joined Market Briefs yet, well, I have the link for you to join down in the description below. But we have a lot of other products as well. So we have Market Briefs, which is our free newsletter. But we also, in addition to that, have paid newsletters. We have paid research products as well. And we also offer other investor research related products for our subscribers. So we are primarily a content-based business, but we also kind of act as a service because of all the research that we do. That's what I do currently. In addition to that, I have worked in the service-based industry before because I used to work at weddings. I used to play an Indian drum called the Tol at weddings. That is a service. It was me going off offering my skills at a wedding. I've worked with DJs. I used to be a party promoter. These are all services where you're selling your skills, your knowledge, your labor, and the more skills, the more knowledge that you have, the more niche it is, the more money that you can charge. Just like how doctors charge more money than a cashier at McDonald's because anybody can flip burgers at McDonald's. But very few people have the skill set to actually cut somebody open and fix something in them, do the surgeries, right? So service-based businesses, the more skills and knowledge you can have, the money that you can charge. And I'll show you how you can develop the skills and knowledge that way you can start earning more dollars. And the product-based businesses, this one is very fun. I used to be involved in the apparel industry. I used to have a sock company. This is where something you can literally see, feel, and touch your product. You might be involved in manufacturing and a lot of other things depending on what the type of product is. This can be a lot of fun. It can be very fulfilling, but it's also difficult because if you are manufacturing a physical product, you have to actually manage the manufacturing. And so it's just a different game. You just have to decide which one is right for you, which one is most interesting for you. Once you have the idea, now we have to start working backwards. How are you going to actually make it happen? Because you might feel like, well, if I have this amazing t-shirt idea, I have this amazing video production business, I have this amazing podcast idea, people are just going to come flock to my business, I'm going to make a lot of money, right? Unfortunately, that's not how it works. You can have the best product in the world, but if nobody knows about it, you're not going to make any money. The way that successful businesses work, in fact, every business, the way that it works, is you have two entities. You have the product and you have the customer. This is your product. This is how you make your money. But if you want to actually make the money, you got to have the customers. And you need the customers to actually make this into a successful business. That brings us to part two. How do you actually get those customers in addition to building a good product? Here's the order of operations that I would recommend you start learning. Now I get it, I'm just a random guy on YouTube. I can't tell you what to do, but if you ask me, this is what I would say. Start with YouTube learning because it's free. Then graduate to books, which cost about $20 per book, and then graduate to courses. And there's two different types or fields of learning that you're going to want to do. The first type of field of learning is understanding how to be good at this. You want to start an apparel company, learn how to manufacture the apparel. Learn what makes a good apparel company. Learn how to build a good product. So there's the product side of the knowledge, but then there's the marketing side. And you have to know how to do both. And again, you can learn all of this here, but start with what's free because it's very easy to get tempted as soon as you start to start dumping a whole lot of money into courses before you're ready. But I want you to work your way there. And what I mean by that is now when you're learning how to market or how do you build a product, go down this funnel as well. Start with what's free. Learn how to do digital marketing, learn how to do SEO, learn how to do PR, learn how to do all that type of marketing with what you see for free on YouTube. As you start to build a foundation, because there's a ton of free content out there, then you're going to find some people that you want to learn more from. Maybe they'll have books out there or you'll find other highly recommended books. Go out and read the top books out there. You're going to probably want to read at least 20 books in this. Between learning how to build the product and learning how to market the product, you'll want to read about 20 books, and if each book is about 20 bucks, allocate about $400 just to reading books to now continue to elevate your knowledge, because remember, you got to learn before the L can become silent. Now, once you start mastering the books and all these 20 books now start to make sense and you start to realize, okay, a lot of these books are teaching me the groundwork. I think I got a good framework now. I need more. This is when you can go deeper into courses. Courses will cost you somewhere between $100 to $2,500 depending on who the teacher is and what the product is. But this is where, again, the course can be either how do you build a product or how do you do the marketing? Both of these things are crucial in order to build your business, because that's the two parts of a business. It's the marketing, how do you get the customers, and it's the product. Once you have those two things, everything else, you can figure it out. Because if you got a lot of sales and you got a good product, well, now you can have the problem of hiring people badly and continue to fix the problem. You can have the problem of not knowing how to be a good leader and work to fix the problem. But you have to have the customers, you have to have the product. That way you can figure out how to fix all the other problems, because those are the problems, everybody's gonna have them. Learning how to build a company culture, learning how to hire people, learning how to pay people. You're gonna go through that hurdle. But you can only fix that if you have the money by having customers to continue buying your products, to then be able to jump over all the other hurdles. Now, as an added little tip, I want you to allocate about $500 towards legal as you get started. Get an attorney, have them create the proper entity for you, have them do some basic contractual stuff for you. That way you can get your business off of the ground and not have to worry about a whole bunch of legal stuff later on. I know it can be a lot of money, but you got the $5,000 to start with. Allocate $500 to legal. Maybe it'll be less. Get yourself an attorney. Tell them you want to start a business to do whatever it is that you want to do. They'll create you maybe an LLC, maybe an S Corp, depending on what it is. And then once you have that, you might need a couple of the contracts or a couple other legal things done. You should hopefully be able to do it under $500. You don't need a $2,000 an hour attorney right now. Get yourself a nice $150 to $250 an hour attorney. Just get the basic stuff done. That way you can get going. You might need a little bit more if it's a little bit more of a sophisticated business. Get started and then allocate the rest of the money into marketing, into actually building the brand, and into getting customers. So now we've laid the foundation of how you can take that $5,000 that you have and actively work to grow it. That way you can turn it into something a whole lot bigger. Now let's talk about something that's less risk, less potential return, which is taking the money and working to passively grow it. This would be like taking the money and then slowly putting it into the stock market or into the real estate market. And yes, you can get started even in real estate with $5,000. I'm not talking about going out and buying houses no money down. I'm talking about investing your money into crowdfunded real estate deals or to other syndicate deals where you're taking your money and putting it into somebody else's real estate fund, that we're getting exposure to real estate without actually operating the properties yourself. Now, if you want to learn more about that, again, I have a link in my description with one of my affiliate partners that you can learn more from if you are interested in getting exposure to real estate without actually owning and managing the real estate yourself. If you want to check them out, I got the link for you down in the description. If you use any of my affiliates down in the description, I will get paid, but you can find the right option for you. Now, to put this all in perspective, when you're passively investing your money like this, a good return is generally considered to be around 10% a year. So if you invest $5,000 and get a 10% return, that's $500 over the course of 1 year, which might not sound like a lot of money, but the way that you win here, whether you're investing in stocks or real estate, is you can take that money and you can invest it, and then you're going to keep consistently investing that money. So maybe you invest $500 a month, every month for the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years. That's how you really build wealth here, because now it's not just your money compounding, but your money is also hopefully working to grow. The second part to this is you are also at the mercy of economic factors, market factors. We have seen stock market crashes and real estate crashes in the past. We have seen 16 recessions in the last century, and we've seen about 25 bear markets, meaning market crashes, in the last century. A bear market is when the stock market falls by at least 20%. So you got to understand markets go up and markets go down, but the way that you win here is by consistently investing your money week after week after week, month after month after month, year after year after year for the long term. So it's not just dump with $5,000 into today, it's about doing this consistently. And when we talk about doing this in the stock market, the advantage of the stock market is you don't need a lot of money to start. It is very easy to pull your money out, and it's very accessible because anybody can do this right off with their phone. With real estate, it's different. Your money is less liquid. Even if you use a crowdfunding tool, once you invest your money, it's generally tied up for 3, 5, 7, or 10 years because, well, it's a physical asset. With real estate, it's not as accessible because generally you need a lot more money to invest in real estate. Here we're talking about crowdfunded deals. And not just that, with real estate, you own a physical asset. When you're investing in properties, you're owning something that you can see, feel, and touch. When you invest in the stock market, you can buy one share of Amazon and walk into the Amazon factory and nobody knows who the heck you are. Versus with real estate, if you buy a property, well, you're the owner. Now again, when you're just investing in somebody else's deal, it's kind of like the stock market where nobody really will know who you are, who's operating the deal. But you have a little bit more closer ownership where you can see, feel, and touch the property versus here. it's a little bit different because you're getting a piece of paper that says you own a company. Now, with the stock market, you can automate the whole process where you can find a brokerage and now create a set it and forget it system where you're just going to invest every week or every 2 weeks or every month into whatever it is that you want. Whether it's individual companies or ETFs or index funds or mutual funds, you can create a set it and forget it system. Again, I have an affiliate link for one of the companies that I use and that I've already worked with to do that type of stock market investing. I have that link for you down in the description as well if you are interested. But the whole idea here is you are working to just buy a piece of the economy. Because when you go to work and you earn money, you got to go to work to get paid. You don't go to work, you don't get paid. Maybe you got some paid time off, but eventually you're going to have to work to get paid. If you stop working, you stop getting paid. With the stock market, now you're owning the company. You're owning the companies, you're owning the economy. So now when the economy is working, you're working to get paid. Now, does that mean the markets always go up? No, we just talked about that. But the whole idea here is you're working to get paid even when you're not working. Same with real estate. You're working to get paid even when you're not working. And you have the ability to get paid with cash flow with both of these. In the stock market, it's called a dividend. In real estate, it's called rental income. A dividend in the stock market is when a company has extra cash in their bank account at the end of the year. McDonald's makes billions of dollars of profit. They have this extra billions of dollars in their bank account at the end of the year, and they can do 3 things with that cash. They can save that money for an emergency. They can use that money to reinvest into the company by opening new stores, making better burgers, making better fries, or they can take that money and give it away to their shareholders. And what we've seen is that a lot of the mature companies, the older companies that have more established profits, what they start to do is they reward their owners. And the way they reward their owners is by giving that money away to their owners. And there's 2 ways that a company can give this money away to their owners. The first way is by doing what's called a stock buyback. That's where they take that money and they dump it back into their own stock to make the stock price go up. So if you bought a stock, it might go from $100 a share to $120 a share. You made more money on paper. It's not actually money in your bank account until you sell, but your stock value has gone up. That's the goal with the stock buyback, is to make the stock go up. The other way that a company can give this money away is to just write you a check. This is what a dividend is. Now, they don't generally send you a physical check anymore. They just deposit this money into your brokerage account, and that's cash that you get for doing nothing except owning the stock. Now, you can choose to take that cash and have it deposited into your brokerage account as actual money that you can withdraw, or you can take the money and automatically invest it to buy more shares of that company. And it depends on where you are in your investing career. If you're just getting started, it's probably more valuable for you to keep reinvesting that money, because that means you can buy more of those shares of that thing that's paying you the money. That way you can work to increase your cash flow. You can work to increase your dividends. If you have enough dividend income coming in that you can use this dividend income to pay your mortgage, to pay your rent, to pay for your lifestyle, well, now just have it deposited into your brokerage account, and that's the money you live off of. See, that's what really wealth is. But it doesn't just happen with $5,000. Again, the key is using that $5,000 as seed capital. Maybe you start slowly dripping that money in there. But the key is to keep consistently investing your money, and investing your money for the long term. That's where the wealth is built. If you want more specifics on how to invest in stocks, how do you invest in real estate, again, you can check out Market Briefs, my free newsletter. I have the link for you down in the description. I also have other videos on my channel where I go over specifically how do you invest in stocks, how do you invest in real estate. But again, like I said earlier, first you got to learn to make the L silent. And I want you to do the same thing here. Start with what's free. There's a bunch of free content on YouTube. Once you start finding content you like, you can look for books. If you're asking, Jaspreet, do you have a book? I don't have a book, just haven't had the time to write a book. I've been so busy running and building Briefs Media, just hasn't been feasible for me yet. And then you can look into courses or education. Briefs Pro has investor research. If you're looking for unique investment ideas, looking for information as to what's happening in the markets, we do sell investor research. It's not courses, but more research if that's something you're interested in. But you can start to go down that funnel as well to learn more about how to be a better stock market investor or how to be a better real estate investor. You have to invest in your education. And again, start with what's free, start with what's cheap, and then you can start to pay more money for more in-depth knowledge. And now with that, you understand how to passively grow that money as well. Now I want to hear from you. Which one are you more interested in? Actively working to grow that money or passively working to grow that money? Let me know down in the comments, because I want to know what type of videos I should create more of. this style or this style. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you have to say. Our economy is going to change in 2025, and in this video, I want to show you how you can find the investment opportunities that most people are overlooking. Take a look. President-elect Trump is entering the White House in January, and he wants to make some sweeping changes to our government and economic policy. Let me show you why this matters. In 2024, the United States